Tamara, you chased a story to Paterson where it almost sounds like it's a crisis going on in their education system. Almost none of the kids coming out of high school are ready for college. What do you got?
In Paterson, only 19 students that took the SATs are considered college ready. That means that they scored at least 1,500 on their SATs. To put that in context, it's 1,500 out of 2,400. I chased this to Paterson to speak with Jason Williams, who just graduated from high school, and he's now in college. He is one of the lucky ones. He did get a 1,500 on his SATs, but it took him 3 tries. Now, I asked him what was the key to his success, and he said he didn't fall victim to the streets.
Just last summer, like summer before last, my friend, very close friend and teammate for the Paterson East Side Ghost, he was shot and killed that summer on National Night Out. You know what I mean? And that was like, that really affected me, not even for my football career, but mostly for the fact that like during our first grade during the school year, it was like I was thinking more about like, let's win this game for him.
Derek Fritz, he was shot during National Night Out on the streets of Paterson. His body was found the next day. He said most of the football players stopped paying attention to school, stopped going to class. So I spoke with Rosie Grant, who's the executive director of the Paterson Education Fund, and she said the cards are stacked against kids in Paterson.
These kids who are now seniors have gone through 7 superintendents in their tenure in Paterson Public Schools. And with every administration change, there's a reworking of what the schools are supposed to be doing.
I called the school board to get a comment about the SAT scores. They sent me back an email saying that they no longer use SAT scores as a gauge to student success.
Right, how convenient.
Right. I chased this further to the gates of Eastside High School in Paterson to speak with students to see how they feel about their education. And I spoke with a few who said, it's okay, or no, I'm not happy with it at all. And then I found a ray of light.
It was easy for me.
Yeah. It was easy. How did you score?
1580.
So the question is, are any other students going to do well, or is this system going to continue to fail the students?
You know, this is a crisis in the education system, and I don't know how you deal with it just by hiring and firing superintendents. I mean, if a kid gets killed on this night out of the town, that's a much bigger problem that they're having.
You know, if you don't have basic human needs being met, a feeling of, you know, making sure that you're fed, making sure that you have a sense of feeling safe, making sure that you have a safe place to call home at night, education is not going to be something that you can make a priority. And unfortunately, from the stories you tell, it sounds like more often than not, that's the case for these kids, and that's a very sad situation.
It all comes down to these communities where parents are really not taking care of their children at homes and expecting the school to babysit and educate their children, but that's just not how it works.
You know,
it's a partnership between
Sophia,
teacher and parent.
Sometimes, though, you know, to take the other side of that, I mean, I wonder how many of these parents are working 3 jobs each to put food on the table.
The best way to improve communities is to make sure the young people coming up are educated. That's the best way for them to come back and contribute to communities powerfully. So sit back and say that the families aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Maybe they're not, but until we figure out a way to educate these young people, you'll never stop that
But
cycle.
a parent can't do anything about protecting their son from being shot outside of a football game.
Who's in charge? It's not the kids, it's not the families, it's the gangs and the criminals.